Ahoy hoy YouTube, I am the voice of the voices, the speech of the speechless, and the hater of the haterless. Although that implies I'm a hater, and if anything, I hate cynicism. So again, these openings make no sense, but I don't do this for openings, I do this for commentaries. Gameplay looking at Call of Duty Black Ops. Not really impressive gameplay, I go positive, but I'm not here to talk about gameplay. Today's topic, Dave Chappelle. I want to talk about Dave Chappelle. You know, I like saying I'm a student of comedy. I love learning about comedians and their lives and how to construct a perfectly well done joke. But I'm not talking about that today. I respect Dave Chappelle for a lot of reasons. In fact, I have listened to every interview he's ever done 50 times. I can recite the James Litton interview with Dave Chappelle right now if I wanted to. But the misconception that people have about Dave Chappelle is something that needs to be addressed. A lot of people say, or it's the term or phrase now to say, I got stuck, death right there. Anyway, the phrase is, you pulled a Chappelle. And this is an inner gaming thing. Someone left the gaming community and they're saying, oh, he pulled a Chappelle. I'm not going to get into that, but it's the phrase, you pulled a Chappelle, you dropped the mic and you left. That's not necessarily the full truth about what Dave Chappelle did. So I'm going to break down to the people who don't know what Dave Chappelle really did, and I've heard only the media version of it. So the mainstream media story goes, and for those who don't know who Dave Chappelle is, and I know it's impossible to believe that no one knows who Dave Chappelle is, he's a very popular comedian. He gained notoriety around the mid-2000s for his show, The Chappelle Show. He also has numerous stand-up specials which are amazing. I suggest you go buy them right now. Very smart man. So, let's just talk about why he left. Dave Chappelle had left in the third season of the Chappelle Show, and a lot of people were angry, understandably so, because they're fans of him. I was angry too. And the media and Viacom and Comedy Central made their own story. Dave Chappelle had left the third season of the Chappelle Show and had gone to Africa. He went to Africa to, decompress and just forget about the whole media narrative and publicity and stuff like that. Now, this is interesting. People use Africa in a pejorative sense, like Dave Chappelle was going to Africa to find himself or pull her roots. That's a Dave Chappelle term. He actually said that in an Anderson Cooper interview. Imagine if Dave Chappelle went to somewhere like Britain. Would anyone actually have brought up the whole, oh, he's going to Africa, he's going to Africa? No. They only bring up, smart kill Brandon, they only bring up the Africa aspect for one reason only. Because it's a foreign country we don't really know. Who goes to Africa to vacation? I'm not going to judge Dave Chappelle for going to Africa, because I'm not qualified to talk about it. It could be a great place to vacation. I hope he had fun there. And apparently he did. Because the day he got back, or when he was in Africa, the media was hounding him saying, hey, are you doing crack? And Dave Chappelle was like, what? All these rumors. They were created by the media cycle. Because this is what the media does. And Dave Chappelle was smart enough to recognize the media will tear you down as quickly as they built you up. In his stand-up acts, although he doesn't do this now, he used to do this all the time after the Chappelle Show. I encourage you all to go buy tickets to watch it, if you're over 18, obviously. He talks about this guy. Iceberg Slim. Iceberg Slim was this notorious pimp. And he was notorious for his idea of, or his rule set and rule book of how to be a pimp. He created these certain rules and became more than just a pimp. He knew how to control business. He detached himself from emotions. And if you run a business, you can't get sentimental about your product. And for his product was obviously prostitution. So in order to create certain loyalties from his prostitutes, what he would do is make them feel that they could only go to Iceberg Slim. He created a loyalty aspect. One of the examples in the book that Dave Chappelle points out almost every time, this is how he closes his stand-up, or used to at least, was that there was a story about a prostitute meeting with John, and the John ended up dead. And the police officer, someone came in, and the only way that the prostitute could be free is if she stayed under the protection of Iceberg Slim. Like, no one would go to the cops, Iceberg Slim would protect her. In actuality, Iceberg Slim hired a friend of fake dead, hired a fake doctor, and hired a fake taxi cab outside the door to make it look all real. He tricked his prostitute into thinking that their only way to save herself was to remain with a pimp. Now, why does Dave Chappelle bring this all up? Because Viacom and Comedy Network are his pimp, and Dave Chappelle would be the prostitute. He said, I don't want to be the prostitute anymore. He was offered $50 million. And at $50 million, something you love and have crafted your entire life is no longer something you love. It's a job. You're no longer measured by the quality of your jokes. You're measured against $50. Was that joke worth $50 million? Some people can handle it, some people don't. Personally, I see his point. I'm playing video games. If I had $50 million to my head and I had to, I don't know, go 24-0 every game, I would lose my mind. Dave Chappelle knew that if he didn't live up to the $50 million, he would be worth nothing in the future. The media would say, oh, he's lost his mojo. Season 7 of the Chappelle Show sucked. He's toxic for future industries. And he would have to grovel back to Comedy Network, Comedy Central, Viacom, all over again, thus creating the cycle. Dave Chappelle knew that people were addicted to access. People, and I'm not going to call it any celebrities because I know they all watch my videos, people are addicted to it. And Dave Chappelle said, I'm going to go back to something I love, comedy and stand-up. I'm going to go with what brought me here. This is something that Cenk Uygur, and if you're watching on TYT Nation, of course you know who he is, talks about all the time. It's the addiction to access. When your body's broken down, your mind is worn out, Comedy Central, Viacom, they're not going to have your back. The only person that's going to have your back are the people who brought you there. People who were Dave Chappelle's friends now looked at him, and he said this in interviews before, looked at him differently. Because now he wasn't their friend, the comedian, he was the $50 million comedian. He got out because he realized that the expectations were too high, and he realized that no one was going to have his back if he continued the lifestyle he was living. I think he's the smartest man in media because he realized everything about the game and how to play it. Anyway, you watched my video. Hopefully you don't hate me for talking about politics and the media, but that's what I do. I'm a political science major. It's in my body, my DNA. Like, comment, favorite. Do you miss Dave Chappelle? I miss him. Tear just ran out of my eye. Later, guys.